You ask Michael, he'll say the same thing. I'll tell you, Michael's not far from me, and he'll say the same thing, especially if you live in St. Ives. Mind you, it's the same thing with Mercedes drivers over there too, so it doesn't make much of a difference. But
unless you're in a Mazda 2.
Yeah, well, that's it. They, I don't drive like they do over there. All right, the Falcon is off the line. 2.26, 2.33 for the Toyota. I did not expect that. I was expecting about 4 seconds to the 60, but that's actually not too bad. He's keeping the Falcon honest. Oh my God, he's got the win. You serious? Are you kidding me? If you're a Falcon driver, you'd be like, what? No way. I was expecting the Falcon to trump the Toyota. Oh, I'm glad Chad's not here. He'd be giving it to me right now. Now, guys, it is a bit warm out there, but please do keep your air conditioners off, guys. If our start line crew do see a bit of a drip come out of your car, they do have the potential to send you around the back.
Yep.
So just make sure you keep your aircon off, guys. I know it's warm, but, safety first here at the track. Now, I think we got BMW versus Mercedes. Of course, we had that on the weekend with the Bathurst 12 hour. I was actually going for BMW, by the way.
Well, yeah, they are a fantastic looking car, but I will admit I love the Mercedes, AMG. I thought they were a pretty cool looking car. Actually, all of them are pretty cool looking.
Oh, they are. And how about that unrestricted AMG 1 minute 56 second lap around the mountain? That would have been epic.
Yes. Certainly, and I saw Ford was running their electric van around there as well.
Yeah, they did.
Put on a pretty good show. For those that are all about the new era of motorsport that I think we're not going to be able to deny.
Yeah, that's right. You go to a car meet now and they'll be sitting there going, how big's your engine? How big's your battery? So, it'd be like that, I mean, I have a joke at the pub. Just all my mate, people ask me, they go, oh, what do you reckon about the electric cars? I go, yeah, well, they're quick. But they start laughing when they say, well, I don't have a man bun, so you won't never see me drive one, And I'm not vegetarian, so you won't see me driving one either. So,
are you all about offending people tonight, Stu?
I'm in a bit of a rusty.
Are you on a soapbox at the moment?
I'm in a bit of a rusty mood tonight.
It sounds like it.
Yeah, Nah, it's just me being me. I just say it how it is, and it's the way it goes. Most people know me. Oh, big puff of smoke out of the Calais.
Yeah.
But it was a lot of smoke and no go. But probably just a little bit of a spinning left rear tyre there. 2.49 in the 60. And the car next to him's gone, see you later. I'm out of here. 11.05 at 125. As you've got one of my dream cars hitting the track now, the Honda Civic Type R. And, I dare say he's going to have a bit of a race on his hands. Not only is it manual, because let's face it, real people drive manuals, and he's taking on the Falcon, which did a ripper of a burnout. But I can't wait. Oh, Angry Three's here. Oh, awesome. Hear that, Benj? That's music, mate. Right there, that is music. That beautiful sound of a 13B rotary. Love it. But before that, we've got the Honda Civic Type R taking on the Falcon. Now, if this is the one that I'm thinking of, this Honda Civic, there was a guy here about 4 or 5 weeks ago who actually was tuning it. And he had the laptop set up, and this is a bit of an R&D car that he was working on. Falcon running on through an 1186, and the manually shifted Honda 1459. Oh, man, that sounds good. Angry 3, don't you love your rotors? as Ben starts to make the chicken noises behind me. He's taking on the Audi. Can't Angry 3. Oh, a little bit of attitude. Oh, man, twisted up on the chassis. 1.77 in the 60, but wisely got off it. Man, that thing sounded tough, and the Audi running on through an 11.75 at 116.
That rotary was so close to sticking there off the start line in the Aeroflow lane. Sorry, ladies and gentlemen, I just lost me there for a minute. Ben's
Well, from Angry 3 to the earlier model RX-7, he's taking on an earlier model Honda Civic Type R.
You won't know which car to go for.
No, I won't.
You're torn between...
I am.
Do you know what you need? You need well, it'd be counterproductive. A Honda Type R with a 13B in it.
Yeah, or a Mazda RX-7 with the K-Series motor in it.
Well, either or, same.
That would be cool.
Or one or both.
That's it.
Yep.
You'd go time attack racing after that.
And a 1262 with a 5 there at 111 mile an hour for the RX-7 in the Aeroflow lane. Next up, a pair of hot hatches on the start line. We've got the Ford Focus in the Aeroflow lane, taking on the Mercedes in the Rocket.
Well, guys, if you're here at the track and you're thinking, I need to get a coffee, make your way up to Go Nuts for Donuts. Go and see Mel. Great coffee, guys. Beautiful. And Serge, it's up there as well. Or if you're down in the pits, guys, you can go to the Top Fuel Cafe and get yourself a coffee from there. Now, Violent Rumble is here. We've got this beautiful looking XD or XE Falcon. Got 2 air cleaners hanging out of the bonnet, Steve. It's got your name written all over it, mate.
It's because one's not enough.
Well, true. But it's nice to see something different, a yellow. We don't see a lot of yellow cars. I reckon they make the best cars for photos. And he's going to be taking on the HX.
Well, two very distinctively coloured cars on the start line here at Aeroflow Race for Real. Ford versus Holden.
These two will make great photo opportunity for Australia Day. You know,
yes,
green and yellow.
Green and gold.
Well, green and gold, yeah. I like the name, Violet Rumble. That's really cool. And the kangaroo and the Aussie flag. Decal on the rear boot as both of them get off the line. 1.86 to the HX, but I think the Falcon has got him, and an 1180 at 121. Great pass there from Violet Rumble. What's this, DJ Prowse? KFC's in the house. And what's this? Ben, you're as bad as Stu. You're not feeding us either. What?
Oh, I think he's gone to get himself some dinner.
Oh, right, okay. I was going to say.
He's just bragging that he's got KFC.
Oh.
And I can't even read the screen. That's what I'm putting 2 and 2 together.
Good old Kentucky Fried Cat. All right, we've got the VF Commodore up against the big Jeep. The Commodore out with a 1.68 to 60, but keep your eyes on the Jeep. This is going to be close at the finishing line. Who's got it? The Commodore's got it at 10.92 at 125 to an 11.002 at 126. What a drag race. Oh, I don't know, DJ Prowse. I wouldn't say it's a KFC cook chooker. Cooker? Yeah. I'd say Kentucky Fried Cat. As Joe Sabello is out there now in the Commodore. No, not really. Not when I see Mazda and then trying to commentate and do 3 things at once. No. Oh yeah, we could do that. I mean, pressure cooked cat.
Stop it.
All right, the Hayabusa out now. This has been really good passes so far from the Boozer. End of the 9 seconds. Oh, pops the front wheel up. That is aggressive. 1.74 in the 60. Hang on to it, son.
It did well not to come off the back there.
Starting to sound...
And a 10.63 with a 6. Good side-by-side race at the end of the day, but the Hayabusa definitely hiking that front wheel.
I had to channel some Chris Diggles with that bit of commentary.
Nelly.
Yeah. Because Chris Diggle is one of the Australian legends in the motorsport commentary world here in Australia and a great friend of Steve and I. All right, both bikes down here in the Rocket and the Aeroflow lane. Out there having a great run.
That's unusual. I don't normally see a bike miss a gear. I think that's what happened there. Didn't want to shift. Still runs on through for a 13.39. The rider in the Rocket lane there, 12.79 with a 9 there. See, I've never ridden a bike and never will, so...
I've ridden a bike.
Well, unless maybe a step through, because there's no gear, is there? There's just... yeah, okay. Still not going to happen.
I've ridden a bike in first gear. I only came off it because I was trying to get off it.
Okay. Makes perfect sense.
Well, when you're short-assed like myself and you can't touch the ground, you got to... Don't you start, Benj.
Rider in the Aeroflow lane, definitely out in front here. Nice, clean launch, 185 to the 60. Runs on through the finish line, 10.01 with a 2, 146. Good speed, 11.39 with a 9 at 128 for the rider in the Rocket lane. I feel like our bike riders are multiplying. You did mention earlier tonight that a good number of our friends from Sydney Random Riders would be out here tonight. Some watching, some competing, as they always do.
Yeah, it's great to see, and of course, I know there was a bit of a group ride. A couple of riders had come from the Northern Beaches, and they've made their way over to a meet point, and then they're coming in tonight to check out what all this drag racing caper is all about. So we welcome all the members of Sydney Random Rides that have decided to pop in tonight for a bit of a look. Pee-wee 50, absolutely DJ Prowse. One thing I've always wanted to do was, a number of years ago, we used to have a motorcycle stunt team here. I wanted to try and get a Pee-wee 50 and do a wheelie across the burnout pad, because I'm about the only person out of the Sydney Dragway team that could probably get away with it.
Yeah, but you just told us you fell off.
No, but I wasn't on a Pee-wee 50 though. A Pee-wee 50 I can actually touch the ground on.
Right.
Yeah. So they don't build a lot of bikes these days for people with very short legs, like myself. So, that's why I stick to cars, Steve.
That's fair. That's exactly why I stick to cars too.
Absolutely. Except you got your car's cool. You got a nice quick car.
Well, it's not as quick as it should be.
Oh, it will be there.
The next pair of racers on their way to the finish line. The Aeroflow lane will get there first. 10.74 with a 7, 143 to a 15.0 at 82.
Now, we spoke about electric cars earlier.
Yes.
We've got the Ioniq 6, I'm going to go out on a limb. It's the electric car. Now, I did see one of these last year at World Time Attack. They had Tarzan Yamada having a steer of one of these things. Yeah, it was a bit weird seeing
Let's
this
just say
thing.
it wasn't quite the same spec as what we're looking at here now.
I think it was very similar. But it's just strange to see a car go super fast and then no noise.
187 to the 60. And 1135, 121 mile an hour. Wow.
Yeah, that's not mucking around.
Both races leaving the start line there. Identical reaction times down to the thousandths of a second. The Golf will get there first. Runs through for a 13.69 at 101 to a 14.69 for the Hilux in the Aeroflow lane.
Don't forget, guys, it's our Euro versus JDM night tonight, and you've got to vote on your favourite JDM on Euro car, and you put that on the Sydney Dragway and commentary page. Just message us and let us know. Joe Sabello, 1.74 in the 60 this time, and only goes 11.42. Now, I'm wondering, Steve, whether this car that he's running, I wonder if he's taken the belt off the supercharger and just running the engine in. Because it doesn't seem as potent as what it has been in the past.
Yeah, that might make sense.
Yeah. All right, the giant killing Toyota Orion. I can't believe I just said that. Up against the Ford.
Mondeo away a little bit quicker. I think it might need a little bit more of a head start. Although maybe the Falcon last time didn't do a full run.
That's true too.
Although this one looking like the Mondeo was in front of the 1,000, but the Toyota around the top end once again, 14.63 with a 5.98 mile an hour.
All right, the Audi wagon. This thing, as Steve mentioned, is seriously cool. Hashtag long roofs. We love them here at Sydney Dragway. And he's taking on the Falcon. Oh, look at that, off the start line out of the Audi. A little bit of movement out of that four-wheel drive system. 1.777 in the 60. He runs on through 11.007. Man, that is so close to a 10.
It's getting so close to a 10-second pass. Of course, that may be what they're looking at.
Now, this is the Kia version of the Hyundai Ioniq. And as I said, I read a little article today on Facebook. Apparently, it's one of their highest-selling models.
Yeah, wow.
This EV6. Of course, there's a lot of electric cars getting around. Of course, we had a guy out here last year, towards the end of last year, actually.
Was it the MG?
Yeah, the MG.
Yes.
Yeah,
yes.
Yep. Did an interview with him.
And I think that ran like 11.8 or something.
I'm pretty sure it did. Yeah, 100%. So, it'd be interesting to see the difference between both the cars, even though fundamentally they're probably very similar. But, weight plays a bit of a difference. Well, 1.89 to 60 this time for the Kia.
Nearly 100 mile an hour at half track. Runs on through for a 12.1 with a 3, 117 through the finish line.
Wow.
Was doing 93 mile an hour at half track.
That's crazy.
As a bracket racer, I'm surprised that we don't see more electric cars, because they would be ultimately very consistent when you consider there's not many things that would change its performance in terms of weather. There's probably a slight difference, a very, very slight difference with weather conditions, but it's not not the same effect as what you have with a normal combustion engine that relies on the atmosphere to create horsepower.
No. Well, I think, it has been pretty warm out there today too. So, I mean, I don't know how that affects the batteries as much. As we got the BMW about to take on the Ford. I can hear something below us making a really nice amount of noise downstairs, and I've got a sneaking suspicion that I know what it is.
It doesn't have pistons. It's got things that rotate in circles.
Yes. See, Ben, they're multiplying. Well, we've got a great bunch of bikes out the back. I just got the message through from one of my friends who's part of the group. They've just arrived. So welcome to the members of Sydney Random Riders. It's got the Audi about to take on the Commodore. Don't forget, guys, too, tomorrow night we've got Aeroflow Tyre Thrashing Thursday here at Sydney Dragway as well. If you love burnout as much as I do.
I was going to say you'll be in your element tomorrow night.
I'll be heaven. I reckon you should come out for it, Steve. Join me on commentary. Get you up there with me and we'll get those limited fingers going. I reckon it'd be unreal. You love it. All right. Man, that sounds good. Sounds so good. The little Mazda RX-7 about to take on the Type R. Black Tracker here too, Steve. With hot RX-7.
They are multiplying.
I haven't seen the guys from Black Track out here for a little while. Because they're the guys that are involved with a very quick Cressida.
Yeah, 1287 with a 111 mile an hour for our racer in the Aeroflow lane. Of course, the red RX-7 there. Let's see what the silver model can do for Black Track. In the Rocket lane, taking on the Ford Focus in the Aeroflow lane this time around. The Focus has done a number of passes already this evening. And I believe this will be the first pass for the silver RX-7.
Yeah, just took it a bit easy off the start line, which is probably a wise decision. See what the track's doing. And off it just before the finishing line. Goes to 1364 at only 98. There's still a lot more left in that car.
Yes, yeah, I think you're certainly right there, Stu. There's certainly a little bit more left in that.
All right, we got the modern day Falcon taking on the old school Cruisers, XY. Or XW. When I saw this car on Sunday, I was in love with it. Man, it sounded good.
Leaving the start line nicely. 171 to the 60 foot. Down the Rocket lane through the finish line. 1168 with a 5. 116 miles an hour through the finish line. And on track now in the Aeroflow lane is Dylan in the BMW Coupe. Dylan drove past me in the staging lanes earlier this evening and not powered by a BMW engine anymore. This one has the LS2 on board. No, it's not, Ben. Yes, you're probably right. It probably hasn't helped the weight distribution, but it's given it a heap more horsepower to make up for it. I somehow don't think Dylan's too worried about going around circles, or around circuits, I should say. And looks like the Commodore will get there first. 12.90, 111 mile an hour. A little bit of something, some sort of debris out of the BMW in the Aeroflow lane there. Yes. I don't know if it was the LS sweating horsepower, Ben, but it looks a little bit too dry for that. It looks like dust or something, some sort of dirt, gravel, I'm not sure. Our next pair out will be a Mitsubishi taking on a Mercedes. It's interesting that we were talking about electric cars before. I was talking to my father the other day, who's been away on holidays, and he always takes old hot rod magazines with him to read. And he had, in his random selection, he found an article on an electric go-kart that was put together in like 1964 or something like that. And I haven't seen photos of it, but apparently this the builder of the go-kart wanted to go for the world record on the Salt Lakes at Bonneville in 1964 or 1968, whatever the year. It went 138 miles an hour, which is certainly moving for any car back then, not too shy. However, they did find that the wet cell batteries that it had obviously created something like 1,300 amps of power back then, but they emitted a whole heap of quite dangerous fumes, obviously, back then. So they had to put into their design a number of air scoops to bring that said fume away from the driver as it made its way down the course. And to back the record up, it obviously had to do the run more than once. So they had to swap the entire battery packs out. But yeah, I was certainly pretty impressed for the era. That was certainly moving, given the for wanting another word, lack of technology compared to today in what was available. I guess it just shows that electric vehicles are not something new, or as new as yes, they're not as new as we think they are. It's just that there's been a lot more technology put into them in recent times.
Well, Steve, we got Eden down here from Aeroflow Custom Performance. He's brought the Caprice out tonight, running nitrous. And it looks like he's got a set of slicks on the rear end of it tonight too. My apologies, Steve, they're a radial. But it's good to see the Aeroflow crew out here tonight. We had Ray go down before on the green ute. Now, I just spoke to the guy with the Trackhawk here, the Jeep. He said he's only owned the car for 3 weeks, Steve. So he's doing a great job out there.
$10.92 with a 7 at 125 for the GDS in the Aeroflow lane, and 11.21 with a 2 for the Trackhawk in the Rocket lane on that pass. The Trackhawk a little bit slower to the 60 foot there. I think that's where we saw the majority of the time difference. Next up we see that XD Falcon taking on the Statesman in the Rocket Lane.
The bikes turning it on here tonight, here at Aeroflow Race for Real. It's our theme night. Are you right? Okay, just checking bench. Unfortunately there for Michael on board the Jackson 750, it may have just dropped a cylinder in the bike, so that is a bit of a shame there for Michael. But look, great bunch of racers. Joe, just confirming, Joe is just running the Commodore in. He doesn't have the belt on the supercharger. But
I thought so.
Yeah. I just noticed, looking at the camera, it's just sneaked in while I was on my way upstairs. The B2R Motorsports Civic is back again this evening. A very, very cranky front-wheel drive drag car. It's great to see the guys from B2R Motorsports. Now, if you like alternate engines, as much as I do, don't forget, guys, coming up in March, we've got the Sydney Jamboree, and we've got the match race between Zeus from Croydon Racing Developments, Robert Margin, behind the wheel, and he'll be taking on Anthony Matuk in the Don, the R35 GTR, both of them with RB30 power plants on board, both of them world record holders in their own right too.
That will be a match-up to see, I think. Certainly two of our premier tuning shops for the Nissan six-cylinder brand.
Yeah, it'd be pretty awesome, wouldn't it? You've got the fastest in Rob Martin and the quickest in Anthony Matuk. Full tube frame, but they're RB30 powered monsters. And if you haven't seen them before, guys, get yourselves, make sure you put it in diaries, guys, for March, Jamboree, Sydney Jamboree. If you love imports and rotaries.
Of course, that day here at Sydney Dragway is not all just about drag racing. There's
right.
plenty of stuff to see and do down in the pits. There's show and shines, there's trade stills, there's all sorts of different competitions going on at the same time. But of course, for Stewie and I, the focus is on the drag racing and seeing what the cars can do. And there's a lot of, I suppose, different categories that we see. You know, lots of different cars that don't necessarily come out regularly to race, but do make an appearance at the Jamboree events.
Oh, I've got a couple of first-timers down here on track now. One of them has never drag raced before, let alone been here at Sydney Dragway before, so it's a bit of an experience. But we like seeing new faces here at the track, don't we, Steve?
Definitely. It's always good to have a new face on board. And if you haven't been here before and you have a question, you see any of our staff with the blue shirts, like the two gentlemen standing out on the start line right now, feel free to ask them a question. Generally, they've been around long enough they can give you the right answer, or they might be able to point you in the direction of somebody that would be better suited to answer the question. And of course, don't forget your fellow racers out there tonight. We're all out here to have a bit of fun. We're not racing for sheep stations. There's no national championship on the line. There's no national record, nothing like that. We're just out here to have a bit of fun in a safe and controlled environment. Of course, I touched on it earlier. If you're sitting at home on the live stream and go, that drag racing looks like fun, come out here to Sydney Dragway. Every Wednesday night we're here. All you need is a car or a motorcycle, a helmet, long pants, covered shoes, and a long sleeve top. You can even take a passenger in the car if you like, but you have to have been here more than once to do that.
Yep.
So it needs to be at least your second time here at Sydney Dragway to take a passenger. But you share the love. If you've got somebody that really wants to have a go down the quarter mile but not quite comfortable with driving, that's an option for you as well. VW Golf taking on Stewie's Honda in the Rocket Lane this time around.
Yeah, this Golf is a great looking car. If you saw it on the street, Steve, you'd think, yeah, right, it's not doesn't look that quick, but I'd be interested to know what they've done to it, because goes 2.07 to 60, which doesn't sound like much, but once you get past 60 foot and it starts to wind up, and goes 11.43 at 125.
Yeah, I think there's a lot left in that car. It bogged pretty hard on the start line when it was let go off the launch control, but an 11.43, 125 is big speed.
All right, going to have a battle of the Hyundais. We've got the Ioniq 6, the electric-powered Hyundai, about to take on the i30N. Don't forget, guys, if you do drive a Hyundai or a Kia and you want to get some work done to it, or you just want some advice for maybe a future mod, don't forget Cherry Tuning up at Hornsby, just on Hunter Lane, just behind Spotlight. You can go and see Tristan and the gang there. They're doing a lot of R&D on all forms of Hyundais and Kias. So if you're into the KTM scene, definitely do check them out. Now, Billy just having a quick word to the driver of the Ionic. I was about to say ironic then, but it's not. It's Ionic. Don't know what I was thinking. Oh, I was thinking of Alanis Morissette, that's why.
Okay.
I don't know why that came into my head, but it just did.
That's fair. I'm not going to go there.
Yep. All right. Well, look at that. The i30N just left for dead. This electric Ionic 6 gets up and boogies. This is quite a good pass too. And it goes in 11.42 at 120 to a 13.01 there for the i30N at 109. I'll tell you what, we've got some people commenting on the live stream, Steve. Lindsay says, hashtag RB the world. Well, that's not something usually it says TJ the world, but obviously there's an RB lover there.
There's quite a few different different power plants in the world.
Yeah, there are. Jackson says, yo, I missed out. Any word on Michael's Jexar? Yeah, it sounds like Michael's Jexar, Jackson, has dropped the cylinder. So, I don't think, unfortunately, we'll see Michael back. As we've got the Mondeo about to take on the electric Kia.
We need to pair the two electric cars up.
Absolutely we do.
And I want to see one do a burnout. We haven't seen an electric car do a burnout. Is it even possible?
Actually, I've always wondered that myself, actually.
No smart remarks on the live stream about them burning, okay? I'm not inciting that at all.
Alright, we got the Mitsubishi down on track. He's taking on the Toyota Orion.
The second of our Chryslers on the start line, taking on the BMW hatch this time around. So Euro versus USA on the start line right now. Let's see what the BMW can do. 207 to the 60. The Chrysler will get there first. 13.37 with a 110 mile an hour. To the 12.63 with a 7 at 110 for the BMW.
All right, we've got the F6 Falcon down here in the Aeroflow lane and about to take on the VT Commodore. So I'm wondering for Jamboree in the future whether that might be something they might look at, Steve, doing an electric vehicle.
I guess they could. I can't see any reason why they wouldn't. It's just a matter of getting enough cars to run in the category.
That'd be pretty cool. All right, well, the VT Commodore off the line 2.10. The Falcon, well, I'm not quite sure what he was doing, but 2.63 to the 60.
Boost loading, do you think?
Or just doing like a typical Falcon driver. Just want the Commodore to win. Secretly wants a hold. Oh yeah, go the rotor. All right, the Mazda taking on the Ford. Taking nothing away from the Focus, because they were quite a good car. And there's a lot of people that I talked to that are a bit sad that Ford don't make the Focus anymore.
So this was the last shape they did, wasn't it?
I think
This
so, yeah.
model, yeah. Well, I think when you look at the other European cars in that market, and of course the Korean input as well, there's a fair battle for that sector. When you consider Hyundai develops a really good product for it, the Golf is a very popular product.
Yeah.
Same as the Audi, same as the BMW.
Toyota to a degree with the Corolla.
Yes and no, not so much if you're looking performance, I guess. Yeah. But yes, you're correct. The Corolla is still...
the GR Corolla should have specified that. That's right, SEMA Dragon, the TX3. I remember the TX3s.
Yeah, that's back to our youth. That's early 90s you're talking there.
Oh yeah, you don't see many of them around here in Sydney these days.
They were all-wheel drive as well, those, I think.
Yeah, some of them were, some...
Yeah.
All right, Black Track Motorsport. They've got Hot RX-7 out on track. Got some big chrome rims on the back of it. He's taking on the Civic.
Very quiet for a rotary, the RX-7. 13:45 with a 2:111 through the finish line to a 15:2:0 at 94.
All right, the Mazda 6 MPS out in the rocket lane. TJ Prowse said the track might have to put a charge station in.
Or 10.
Well, I don't know whether the Shell service station down the road's got it, but the Mazda 6 goes 2.35 in the 60, and the car next to him going hard in the second half of the racetrack, 11.96 at 122. That is not mucking around. As the Commodore comes out now, up against the little Volkswagen. Now it looks like we've got another quick little Honda Civic down there as well that's in the lanes.
Yes. It's multiplying as well.
That's great. That's what we want to see.
And the Commodore runs through for a 13:26 with a 6 to a 17:0 for the Volkswagen in the Aeroflow lane. Our pair of Falcons out again, Stu.
Yeah, I've been very impressed with the silver Falcon that's out here in the rocket lane. It sits a little bit higher than what the car in the Aeroflow lane does. It's got more of a street look about it. Whereas the Falcon in the Aeroflow lane, it's got a little bit more of a drag racing look about it.
168 to the 60 for the Falcon in the Aeroflow lane. But the horsepower of the silver model will take the win. 11:2:0 at 126 to an 11:61 with a 5. Statesman will take it through the finish line, 13:29 with a 2:106 mile an hour in the rocket lane.
All right, Sammy Joe out there, Steve, in the Aeroflow lane. About to take on this beautiful sounding RX3. Now, this RX3 got a bit twisted up on its last pass all the way out to 60 foot in the Aeroflow lane. Had to get off it.
Oh. Twisting right up, lifting that left front well off the ground. Had a good look at the centre line. The racer deciding just to get out of the throttle. And Sammy Joe runs on through for 12.59 with a 3 at 1:15 through the finish line.
Well, that's the type of stuff you're going to see at Jamboree, ladies and gentlemen. Short cars, high horsepower. A little bit of a recipe for fun. Now, looks like we've got a couple of very quick Hondas that are not too far from coming out from B2R Motorsports. But this Trackhawk, gentleman's only owned it for 3 weeks. And he's having a ball. You should see the inside of it.
Yeah, I can imagine.
Man.
Moving around.
I'll tell you what, if you want to ride in comfort, that's the car to drive.
Yes.
It's leather everywhere. It's beautiful. I'll tell you what, he's keeping the Commodore on us too. And 11.33 to an 11.01 at 1:26.
Yeah, the Commodore just fractionally quicker to the 60 foot there. The Trackhawk moving around a little bit at around the 60 to 80 foot mark there. I think they might have just unsettled it just a little bit.
All right, Violent Rumble is out now. He's taking on the B2R Motorsports Civic, which has got some brand new tyres on the back of it. Steve and I could see the stickers from up here in the commentary box.
Is this one all-wheel drive, I think, isn't it? We had a Civic the other day when 860, was it, Stu? Like 180 mile an hour or something like that from memory?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that was that grey one that's sitting down below us.
Oh, yes, it was too.
Yeah. Now, it looks like maybe this blue Civic might have a little bit of liquid that's been dropping out of it, potentially. But it has got brand new tyres on the rear end of it. So, and these cars run radials. Actually, it's got new tyres on all 4 corners. So, sure they'll get that car looked at when they take it back to the pits, potentially. But Violent Rumble going out now, the XD. Oh, moving around off the start line, straight towards the centre line. 1.84 in the 60 for Violent Rumble, goes 11.67, 120, good run there from him. Okay, it is time to get pretty serious now. We've got Joe Sabello out there in the Commodore. And one of the quickest Honda Civics in the country. As Steve mentioned, this car's gone into the high 8-second zone here at Aeroflow Race for Real. Runs a little bit of nitrous through it as well. Well, I had to get off it. Made a big move to the left. 1.71 in the 60 there. And you can see the tyre marks straight off the hit. Just spun those tyres. And but you know what? That's all data for them. As Steve will say, any race car you've got, anytime you can bring it to the track and get data, is going to help you.
Well, I think the tricky thing, and I'm not a tuner by any stretch, but from what I've seen and heard with these all-wheel drive cars, is you actually want the wheel spin, and that's why they don't do a burnout.
Yeah.
So the idea is they spin the tyre a couple of rotations to get the boost up and get the engine into its peak RPM for making horsepower, and then obviously once it hooks up, it then drives forward from there. So if we saw that car do a burnout, it wouldn't spin the wheel.
Yeah.
but it would load up the transmission and all the drive line and probably spit a drive shaft.
Yes.
So there is an art to leaving the start line, much like we see these extreme bikes that we see more and more of. It's all about managing wheel spin and wheel speed to get boost, to get drive forward, and then to make the horsepower at the top end of the racetrack to bring the time down.
That's right. Look, just got to wait for these this car to get through the Dragway, the Junior Dragway Expressway, as we call it here at Sydney Dragway, which is the first gate. And then we'll be into our bites, which has been a fantastic turnout tonight as well from our motorcycle enthusiasts.
Yes, quite a strong number.
How does an engine keep going out here? Well, that was an easy one.
Bang shift shifters from Aeroflow Performance are truly the modern shifter for the modern age. Featuring a full bespoke billet case, all shifters are designed for right-hand drive vehicles with an LED lit gear position indicator. Available in either ratchet or gated options, as well as OEM replacement shifters for popular Holden and Ford vehicles. A large range of Bang shift spares are available for each shifter that includes shifter cables, brackets, lever and gate kits, trans brake buttons and drop boxes for the ideal mounting solution. Shift into gear and check out a full listing at aeroflowperformance.com.
How would it be if we funded a pilot program for you to run that enabled you to bring some vision impaired kids onto the Saints Play program?
Oh wow, that would mean the world. My reward is the smile on the kids' faces.
And since you've given so much to others, we'd also like to do something for you personally. How would it feel if Pepper sent you, your partner, and your daughter Molly to the Gold Coast for a few days?
Awesome. I don't know what to say. It amazes me. Thank you very much.
Yeah, one of our great sponsors here at Sydney Dragway, Pepper Money. If you've got a car that you want to have in the build and you think, well, how am I going to finance this? Well, give Pepper Money a call, guys. Well, I've got that car towed out of the gate, so we're about to go back racing with the bikes. Right, 11:35 for the bike down there in the Aeroflow lane to a 12.86 at 103. Both racers doing a great job down the quarter mile. Both of them in the 10s. Right down in the rocket lane, had a good hard look at the lights there. Unfortunately, left before the third amber, but you know what? Doesn't matter. At least he's having a crack, trying to get the best reaction time he possibly can. And the bike beside him goes to 10.04 with a 3. Great mix of bikes here this evening for tonight's Euro versus JDM theme night here at Sydney Dragway. Well, it looks like the bike down in the rocket lane, he got the jump, but it looks like he might have a little bit of an issue as he just goes easy down the track. But the bike beside him goes 12.97 with 5. But the second half of the racetrack, that bike in the rocket lane, he just backed right off. He was looking at the back of the bike too. Got this very tough Hayabusa coming out now. A 1.69 this time in the 60 from the Boozer. Keeps it in the centre of the Aeroflow lane. This is a good pass from him. He goes a 9.86 and 1.44. Ladies and gentlemen, make some noise. The bikes are turning it on this evening. 9.86. Oh, yeah, baby. What a pass from the Boozer. Well, 13.73 there for the Aeroflow lane. Nice 16.42 as we've got a couple of more bikes about to come out. Great to see them here tonight for Aeroflow Race Reel. Big thank you to Aeroflow Performance for their continued support of our off-street drag racing. And if you need parts, guys, make sure you grab yourself a copy of the Aeroflow Performance parts catalogue or log on to aeroflowperformance.com. And bound to be something for your car there. If not, give them a call and I'm sure they'd be able to source something for you. And a 14.95 to a 16.73 there for our last two bikes. We've got Mercedes up against Joe Sabello in the Commodore. Well, I spoke to Joe earlier and I said, oh, look, the car looks really good leaving the line. He said, yeah, this car's always left the line well. But he did say to me, I've only got the small tyres on it tonight. He said, it looks a bit like a burnout car, doesn't it? I should take it on the pad. And I said, yeah, you should. And then he just looked at me and said, no. But look, in 11.4, that car's not running the supercharger tonight. It is purely just running all motor. So Joe just running that car in. But, yeah, plenty more good times to come out of that car in the future. Got the Honda Civic Type R now, about to take on the Golf. Well, guys, down here in the staging lanes, just going for a quick wander. As the bikes all starting to redone up. Hey, Sammy. How are you? Sammy Joe, one of our regular racers here at Sydney Dragway. Hey, Ray, how are you, brother? What's going on, mate? Hey, Eden. Mate, good to see you here tonight.
Yeah, I can't wait. I had the Hoosies on before. I've learnt the lesson now, haven't I? Why we need the lower control arm conversion. It's just nicking the rim, so when people heard me coming past, it wasn't grinding itself away, it was just the rim. So I'll fix that up next weekend, and I'll have it back here for the... Mate, it was hooking. It was going.
Oh, it did. I could see it, mate. It looked fantastic off the line.
Shimmy, but I didn't like that shimmy. I think it was because the lower control arm was hitting the rim. So, yeah, it was affecting... I didn't like it too much, but...
That's all right, mate.
The 16s on it for now, and we'll have a bit of a play with them, see how they go.
I reckon, dude, sounds great, mate. It's great to have the whole Area 51 crew here tonight, because Ray's here with the Ute. Mate, quick question. You were talking about putting this car on the burnout pad. Have you changed your mind?
No, mate, we actually had it for last week, but it was all cancelled on us, and mate, we couldn't get one for tonight, so here we are having another run down the track, mate. So we just have to keep the burnouts in the shed until we can get out on the track again.
Mate, you're going to leave it as a drag car, mate. You don't want to put it on the burnout pad.
I reckon she's just going to do whatever we're doing each week, Stewie. She's a good all-rounder, mate, and it's good fun doing it.
It is, mate, and it's great to have the whole team from Area 51. If you're looking at getting some work done to your LS motor, definitely go down and see Eden, who's driving the Black Caprice tonight, which is here in the staging lanes. And if you want to learn something about nitrous, definitely go and speak to Eden as well. Well, guys, as we go for a wander, I've got to go down and have a look at that Black Track Performance RX-7. But plenty of great cars here. The Volkswagen Jetta out here as well. Hey, mate, how you going?
Yeah, good, mate. How are you doing?
Very well, thank you. Mate, how's the car going tonight? Good?
Yeah, it's good, mate. It's very, very comfortable. The track's feeling nice. The temperature's getting cooler, which is definitely a benefit. It's good.
Mate, tell me, is the car stock, or have you played around with it?
Yeah, it's got a few bits and pieces on it, mate. It's got some coilovers, an exhaust, and some nice sticky tyres for the track, so just keeping it simple, but yeah, keeping it original.
Well, mate, the main thing is you're out here having a bit of fun, doing it the right way.
That's it, mate. It's been a great night.
Thank you, mate. It's great. As one of our part of our Euro versus JDM night, we've even got an Alfa Romeo here as well, which we don't get a lot of Alphas here at Sydney Dragway, particularly at Aeroflow Race for Real. But it is great to see that car there. Yeah, Well, I appreciate them.
They're good cars.
Tell me, what's on?
A massive 1.75 litre.
1.7 turbo. Is this the first time for the car here at the track?
No, second time. Did it when I first bought it 5 years ago. Yeah.
And what's your best pass in this car so far?
12 and a half.
That's good. That's good.
Standard. Now it's tuned, hoping to get under 12.
Well, mate, the track's there, so anything's doable, isn't it?
Yep, sure is.
Mate, have some fun tonight. Great to have you here.
Thanks, buddy.
Of course, got the Honda Civic Type R, which is making its way, the white one I should mention, the more modern version making its way up into the lanes. But one car I wanted to have a look at is Hot RX-7 from Black Track Performance. Got a pretty big set of Simmons on the rear end of it as well. Hey, mate, how you going? How's your night?
Yeah, good, man. Hey, haven't been down in years, mate. I'm so keen just to give it a test run and get out there.
Well, mate, I love seeing the car here, so send it. Let's go. Because I do love my rotaries. But you got another nice-looking Honda here as well, which has got a roll cage and stripped-out interior on it as well. So Honda Integra Type R. So this is a car that I have not seen before, but it's got a set of Hoosiers on all four corners. So look forward to seeing that car come out a little bit later. But the bike community, they've come out in force tonight. And as I mentioned earlier, a huge big thank you to Sydney Random Riders who have decided to come out. Not all of them, of course, are racing. Some of them are just watching. But, you know, that's what it's all about. Bring everybody together, whether you're on 2 wheels or 4 wheels. And coming out and having a little bit of fun tonight. We've got Joe Sabello here as well. Joe running the Commodore tonight. How are you tonight, Joe?
Very slow on board. I might need a beer or something to, or maybe a Coke to get the blood circulating.
Maybe you'll just need a little shot of nitrous in it, mate.
No, mate, it's a new motor. Give it a chance, right? Don't be in such a bloody hurry, Stu.
Well, you know, I don't have a lot of patience. Tell me, so you mentioned new motor. What's much difference between what you had in it before, or is it just a refresh?
It's only a refresh. It's not a new motor. What happened when Rigoli was doing some testing, he torched the head gasket. So while it was out, while the heads were off, we freshened the motor up, put new rings and bearings in it, and now we got copper head gaskets. So with a bit of, it'll take a bit of boost without hurting it all the bloody time.
Because from memory, this was a similar setup to what you're running in the Skyline, but this one's a bit more potent version of what that is, isn't it?
Well, this is a 427 for a start, and it's running on with the smallest pulley. It's 25 pounds boost, and on the dyno it made 1347 horsepower at the wheels. So the motor is making over 1500 plus horsepower. So, mate, hopefully, you know, if I don't get scared and drive it, I want to run close to a flat 8.
Well, that's an idea. Now, I've got to mention, you got 2 seats in this car. So, you know.
I'm going to take passengers.
Well, I was going to say, because, you know, like, you could put Muscat in the car, but he might burn because he's a Ford man.
No, I don't want to clean the mess up that he's going to leave behind. So forget about Muscat. He's all talk and no action. I reckon if I run late, he'd be jumping out of the car. He'd be so scared.
He probably would be. But no, Joe, good luck with the Commodore, mate. It's great to see you back out here, and it's great to see you back with a smile on your face and enjoying your racing.
And going back to the twin seats, that's part of the rules for Wednesday night. We've got to have 2 seats in it.
So you want me to show you how to drive it?
No, thanks. I don't think you could handle it, Cookie Boy.
Oh, I love it. Joe, always fantastic to have on the mic, and a great ambassador for motorsport here in New South Wales. He's here at just about every event, as Steve mentioned. But as we turn our attention to the track, we've got the Black Track Performance RX-7 about to come out. And we've got the Mazda 6 MPS, which will be coming out very, very soon as well. So if you're watching on a live stream, guys, while Steve was just busy attending to something, I'm down here in the start line and the staging lanes. Just getting a little bit of words from some of our people that are racing tonight. Of course, we've got a great mix of cars here for our Euro versus JDM night here at the track, and it's great to see that everybody's decided to come out. It's great to see a huge mix of Jap cars. Of course, the Japanese scene in the street, it's kind of waned a little bit over the years. As we all know, the Euro scene is starting to get more popular. The Audis, Skodas to a certain degree. Of course, the Volkswagens, well, they've always been there or thereabouts, but, you know, the Hondas, they still keep their head high. Just waiting for this car to make its way around the deep end before we can send these next two cars. But outside here, guys, I can tell you the weather feels pretty good out here. It's actually a little bit nicer out here than it is up in the studio. It's still a little bit warm, but not as warm as what it was. You can see the Bushman back in the studio.
How did you see me from down there?
Mate, I've got a sixth sense. You know, I've been doing a lot of commentary from out here, so, you know, I flick my eyes up now and again, but I know you're up there, Steve. Yeah. I'll tell you what, Steve, there's a lot of happy people down here in the staging lanes, mate, and
well, that's
a lot
what
of
we
people
want,
really
to see
enjoying
happy
their
people.
racing tonight.
We want to see happy people. Looks like there's a little bit of a breeze blowing out there, Stu. Keeping, as the sun is all but gone here at Sydney Dragway. Next pair about to face the start line, that car around the turnaround at the top end of the racetrack. Of course, from the start line to the turnaround, I think is around about 800 odd metres thereabouts. So the Aeroflow lane just out in front at the moment. The car's pretty close. Looking at how quick they went through the timers, but the rocket lane gets on through at the top end of the racetrack. And Sammy Joe in the rocket lane. 027 on the tree in the red Commodore. Nicely from Sammy Joe. Goes 203 to the 60. Looks like some issues for the Falcon driver in the Aeroflow lane. And a 1263 with a 7 at 115 for the Commodore for Sammy Joe in the rocket. Next up will be Dylan in the BMW, the LS2 powered BMW. taking on the Area 51 Ute in the rocket lane. Ray. Is this one nitrous assisted as well, Stu? Okay, so Stu tells me recently converted to manual, but is NA this one?
Yeah, NA, and they recently just converted the car into a manual. And Ray loves driving it. We actually went for a cruise last week, and together, him and myself and Eden, who came out, and yeah, we had a bunch of fun. Eden was out with his turboed LS Ute. Tonight he's driving the Caprice. This car does run nitrous. It's just changed to the 16s on the car. And he's taking on Brian, one of our track officials, in his Commodore. Now, Brian does get a little bit of work done by Area 51, not a lot, mainly just basic maintenance. But him and Sammy Joe, they absolutely love their drag racing. We love having them here, and also part of the Sydney Dragway officials team as well. As Eden gets off the line, 2.07 with the 9. Brian is keeping him honest though, and a 13.05 to a 13.2. Great closing speed there from Brian in the Commodore.
I thought the Area 51 car was a lot quicker than 13.0 though. Normally running into like the 11-second zone, I think.
Yeah, he normally does. So whether
did he purge the nitrous then?
Well, I didn't see him on the nitrous on that pass. I'm not sure whether he is or not, because he had to take the radials off and they put some different tyres on it because it was hitting the guards when they.
Okay.
Now that Falcon's just moved right out of the groove there, Steve, and got it back into the centre of the lane. But 11.1, he went a long way. Now, Steve, this Integra down here. This car has got full stripped out interior. It's got Hoosier radials at all four corners. It's got 2 seats in it.
Yeah.
I'm expecting, it has got a parachute set up in the back of it, so I believe this car could probably run a bit quicker.
It's indicating that it's ticking all the boxes for a good amount of performance. Of course, tonight being the JDM night, but we all know that the Honda power plant's renowned for making really good horsepower, especially when you force extra air down its throat with a turbocharger.
Well, a little bit surprised, Steve, that we haven't had any Supras come out tonight. Street-based Supras.
No, I was expecting a couple of Supras today at work. Just mind wandered for a bit, wondering what was going to come our way.
Yeah.
But other than the early model RX-7s and the RX-3, wandering around at half track big time in the Honda. 10.12 with a 6, 152 miles an hour through the finish line.
Wow. That was seriously quick. We got the Trackhawk up against Cracked. This VF Commodore is one of our regulars here at Aeroflow Race for Real.
I think the Trackhawk just rolling the beam there, but not going to get a representative time. We'll just keep our eye on the speed because that will be accurate. 125 mile an hour for the Trackhawk on this run. 13.52, but as I said, that's not representative because it rolled the beam at the start line. Ooh.
Oh, Violet Rumble getting a little bit violent in the burnout. Thankfully, he didn't hit the wall and get the crumble part of it. But he's taking on the B2R Motorsports Civic.
Let's see what the Civic can do. Came out earlier for a run, but was sent back after coming up to the staging beams. .165 to the 60 for the Honda. 881 with a 4, 172 miles an hour through the finish line. 881 with a 4, 172 for the Honda in the Aeroflow lane there.
Holy Moses, that was quick. I did not expect that on its first pass. Oh, 12.98. All right, Joe Sabello out there on the Commodore. And he's taking on this awesome little Mazda RX-3. But it's a bit of a handful, this car, off the start line. Of course, short wheelbase, high horsepower. Enjoys the sport compact drag racing. Well, that's a little bit better off the line there from the RX-3. 1.66 in the 60 for him this time. Sounded like he just got off it too at about 3/4 track and just rolls on through with a 12.30 at 72 miles an hour. Yeah, I agree with you, Escort. You can't knock the 4 cylinders these days. That's exactly right. They've come a long, long way since back in the older days when they first came out. Oh, we're back into the bikes. Well, good reaction time there from the bike in the rocket lane. 081, 2.006 in the 60. But the bike next to him goes an 11.16 at 138 to a 1281. Oh, tell you what, the rider down here in the rocket lane, bike almost got away with on him in the burnout. Great to see the bikes out here having a bit of fun tonight. Already seen a 9.80 pass out of the Hayabusa. It's a crazy run at 10.07, 145 miles an hour in the Aeroflow lane. That's some great miles an hour from that bike. We've got this Hayabusa down here. It's already gone 980. It is still stock height. Still stock wheelbase as well on this bike, as you would buy it straight off the showroom floor. But this rider got the real pro bike stance about him, getting as much weight over the front wheel as he possibly can. A 1.73 in the 60, just slightly slower on this pass. And he goes a 991 with 3 at 145. Jeez, with the bike in the Aeroflow lane, it's just left the other bike for dead. 11.17 to a 13.5. Wow, that was a good pass from him. Certainly picked it up in the second half of the racetrack. As we got one of our female racers out there in the rocket lane. Having a crack. It's much better, 2.44 in the 60. The bike next to it, 2.13. There's a 14.8 to a 16.02 at 86 miles per hour. Great pass there in the rocket lane. Dave Muscat watching the live stream. G'day, Dave. Phil Armstrong from Cap Racing. He's also watching the live stream. G'day, Phil. Because Phil runs a lot of our New South Wales State Championship Series races in Super Street. Well, the i30N is back out against the Mercedes. It is our European versus JDM theme night here at Sydney Dragway. All right, the 86 is out here in the rocket lane. This is a great looking one too. It's got the writing on the tyres. It's got the little wing on the rear end of it. Quite a smart looking car as well, this one. Great to see it back here at Aeroflow Race for Real. Well, the 86 rolling out with the 2.44 in the 60. The Falcon doing the chasing. Big good evening to panel van man. You're a little bit late. It's not like you to be this late. It's good to have you on, mate. Welcome to everybody who's watching the live stream direct from here in Sydney, wherever you are around the world. As Joe Sabello comes out now in the Commodore. An 0.53 on the tree there for Joe to a 1.73 as we welcome the Bushman back to the mic.
I'm back. I've just had something to eat.
Yep.
And looking forward to the rest of the evening here, of course, at Sydney Dragway. Thank you very much, Stu. Hope everybody out there is enjoying your night. Of course, it's not too late to grab some hot donuts and or a coffee or something to eat if you're feeling peckish.
Yep.
Plenty of food venues around the venue. Let's see what our Hilux can do in the lane here, taking on the Honda in the rocket lane.
Yeah, we had the race version of the Honda Integra come out before. Now this is the street version.
Still going to reel off only 140 mile an hour or something, is it? Or
Well, I hope not, but we want to see him back for another pass. But tell you what, this Hilux has been doing a great job all night.
Certainly a sleeper, isn't it?
It is, yeah.
Reels off at 14.55 at only 96 mile an hour. I'm pretty sure it's gone a little bit quicker here this evening.
Looks like the Honda might have just dropped just a little bit of water. Just doing a quick little mop up in aisle 5. And we're about to have the AMG come out against the Chrysler, the big 300C.
The Chrysler's done at least one pass here tonight.
Well, the two heavyweights going side by side too. What, they're pretty neck and neck at half track. I think the Chrysler might be just in front, and a 12.93 there to a 13.01 there for the Mercedes as the Audi comes out now against this giant killing Toyota Orion.
Oh, I think the Audi should take this one, Stu.
Well, I hope so.
Well, unless you're the Toyota driver, of course.
Yeah.
Just been told from race control, Stu, that around 9 o'clock we're going to go back to ye old days and run the Pro Tree on the start line. So give all our competitors here tonight opportunity to truly test their reaction time against the start line and drop the tree with all 3 amber lights per side in one go. nice burnout from our Falcon driver down there in the Aeroflow lane. Falcon away first with a 165 light.
We've got a problem down here in the rocket lane. One of the cars is just going very, very slow off the line. So
15 at 351 for the Falcon in the Aeroflow lane there.
Move this car, maybe just move over towards the wall in case you are dropping something. Oh no, he's going now.
Well, that's a little weird.
Yeah, it was a bit weird. Yeah, might have. Maybe stalled it. Well, I'll tell you what, to all the racers out the back, particularly a lot of the people that have never raced here at Sydney Dragway before, as Steve mentioned at 9 o'clock, we're going to flick the tree over and you're going to be racing on the Pro Tree. So for those racers that have never been here before, what that entails is that when the two top lights come on, it'll be one flash of the ambers, then green. So as soon as those ambers flash, you want to be coming up on the revs and the clutch, and you want to be ready to leave. You don't have time to sit on the line and wait for the tree to count down. It's one flash and you go. So it's certainly will test even the best drivers and racers that are out the back. Some people find it a little bit easier. Some people find it a little bit more difficult.
I think obviously it depends the style of car you're driving.
Yeah,
I think
right.
a lot of our, I'll use it, daily drivers that we get here at the Aeroflow Race for Real, to get the car to react, to get a good light on a Pro Tree is somewhat difficult. So almost sort of you're guessing a lot effectively, yeah. But that's cool. We didn't quite get the numbers that we needed for the reaction time prize money this evening.
Thank you, panel van man.
I can't read what he wrote.
Yeah, probably not a good idea to read it out either, just quietly. But no, we're going to go Pro Tree.
So it's after 9 o'clock. So about 20 minutes from now, we'll switch over to Pro Tree. Give all of our racers the opportunity to at least have a bit of fun with that.
Yep.
And a 12.88 with a 9 at 118 mile an hour for the rocket lane.
Yep. Blake Bucknell said, Steve, had a massive crew of Hondas organised for last week's roll racing, only to find out it was cancelled. So that's a bit of a shame there, Blake. But hopefully, mate, in the future, we can see your group come out and have a little bit of fun for the roll drags. Dominic from South Africa's just tuned in, Steve. G'day, Dominic.
Welcome. I hope you're enjoying the live coverage from Sydney Dragway, of course. Oh, here we go, the matchup, Stu.
Here we go. The Kia EV up against the Hyundai Ioniq. The two electric SUVs about to go head-to-head. The big brother and the little brother, I guess you could call them.
Yes.
Well, the Hyundai got the better reaction time by 0.4 of a second and runs on through an 11.24 to a 12.882 at 116 to a 123. All right, the Alfa Romeo is out, and this driver I just interviewed a little bit earlier, and all right, he stumped me. Doesn't happen very often with some drivers. He asked me, "You don't like Alfas?" And I went, "I can appreciate them." But
well saved, Stu.
Yes, yeah.
Oh, I mean, it's a very pretty looking car.
I've got a feeling this might be a Brera. Don't quote me on it though. But it's not something that I'm not overly up with the Alphas, and I do apologise. He's taking on the Mercedes AMG. Well, the Merc has got the win, and the little 1.7 litre turbocharged Alpha goes to 1267. A little BMW just doing a little bit of a practice start, sounding pretty angry. He's about to take on the Ford Focus ST. If you just joined us on the live stream, it is our Euro versus JDM theme night here at Aeroflow Race for Real. We've got a great mix of Euro and Japanese cars, probably more the Euro side than the Japanese side. And the Focus has got the win over the Beamer, a 14.26 to a 12.45. As we've got the red Audi that'll be coming out next. This car is pretty quick. And he's taking on the older model Honda Integra Type R. Wasn't a particularly well-sold version of the Type R, this one. Wasn't as popular. Probably just the body shape, potentially similar to when Subaru went a different body shape with the WRX.
I think you'll always have the loyal fans with any of those sorts of cars that have that, I'll use the word, a cult following. People will buy anything if it's got that badge on it. They're in the market for it. But, you know, typically it's the marginal seats, I guess you'll say, that you pick up or you lose, either or.
Yes.
025 on the tree for the Honda. Nice reaction time. 1172 with a 9, 116 mile an hour for the Aeroflow lane.
Well, the VT Commodore coming out for another pass. He's taking on the Mazda 6 MPS.
Mazda's been out to Sydney Dragway quite a few times from memory.
Yeah, I think last time he brought it out, though, he broke it. So I'd say he's only recently just got it fixed. Of course, he's got the Cobb stickers on it. Well-known tuning shop over in the US. Well, 14.00 to a 14.5. As Ray comes out now in the Area 51 Custom Performance Ute. He's taking on the Falcon. Well, I'll tell you what, the Falcon doing a great job off the line. Went very hard on the lights, unfortunately red light, but nice and straight down the Aeroflow lane. And runs a 14.01 with a 2 to a 13.91 for Ray. As Sammy Jo comes out now, and she's taking on her partner Brian in his Commodore.
Well, Brian wins the burnout comp.
Yep, absolutely.
But I have a feeling that Sammy's going to win the race.
I think so.
Just putting it out there. I might be wrong. Won't be the first time tonight. She cut a killer light last time out. And there's another one.
Yeah.
018. Both cars are manual, aren't they?
I know Sammy's is. I think Brian's is still auto.
So there you go. Sammy Joe took the win in the Aeroflow lane there. Not quite sure if there was a wager on there, but...
Who's doing the dishes?
Oh, yeah. Who's washing the cars?
If you break it, you fix it.
Yes.
Got another Commodore out now. He's taking on the Mitsubishi.
I looked twice. I keep thinking this Mitsubishi is like a Mark 6.
Yeah, it does look a bit like it from up here, doesn't it?
Keeping in mind my night vision is not awesome.
Yeah.
And it's black.
Yeah, that doesn't help either.
The Commodore in the rocket lane, stretching the legs towards the finish line. And rides on through for 12.55. 111. And the Mitsubishi 15.89 at just over 80 mile an hour.
All right, we've got the driver back out in the Trackhawk. Doing a great job in this car as well, and he's taking on this very quick VF Commodore.
.166 to the 60 for the Commodore. The Trackhawk chasing down at the top end.
Oh, wow.
And gets there. 11.01 with a 6. 130 mile an hour through the top end.
All right, Violet Rumble back out now. He's taking on the VA Commodore.
And the Falcon runs on through for an 11.61, 122 miles an hour. Next up, we will see our friend in the RX-3.
I just had a message through from Michael. Doesn't sound like it was a cylinder on the bike. He just said one of the coils has broken and it developed a misfire. So he'll be back for next week, which is good. So
Okay.
at least it wasn't a cylinder. All right, Angry RX3 picking up the left front, Steve. 1.69 in the 60.
On a mission this time around, straight down the centre of the lane, 9.86 with a 2, 146 mile an hour through the finish line to a 14.12 with a 5 at 100.8. But that little Massa just lifting that left front and wiggled around a little bit off the start line, but once it landed that front left, it went dead straight.
Yeah. Tell you what, you put that car up against the Boozer, you'd have a good drag race, wouldn't you? Both of them into the high nines. Well, I have no idea who that is, Panel Van Man. I will have to look it up. But Joe out there in the Commodore .050 on the tree, and 11.46 at a 121. All right, the B2R Motorsports Civic is out. And this one has gone into the high 8s on this style of track too. So hold on to your hats, ladies and gentlemen, if they can get this thing to stick.
Just under 10 minutes away before we go to a pro tree on the start line. Let's see what this B2R Civic can do. All about that first 60 foot, getting the launch, and then obviously shifting the gears on the... Must have rolled the beams, went 5.2 seconds to the 60, but the runner boarded just after half track anyway. And an unrepresentative time recorded.
Yeah, big move to the left there off the start line as well. So they've changed a few things, suspension-wise. All right, back into the bikes.
Oh, 040 on the tree for the rider in the Aeroflow lane there, Stu.
Yeah, had to move around a little bit.
Yeah. And runs up through for a 10.10, 145 mile an hour through the finish line to a 12.85 at 106 for the rider in the rocket lane. And a 14.62 at 89 mile an hour takes it for the rider in the Aeroflow lane. Oh, 005 red for the rider in the rocket lane.
Oh.
Went after the light there.
Well, you got to try, don't you? I think that might be Mr. Richards on board the Victory Scout. And a 13.39, 100 miles for him.
Yeah, of course, 100 mile an hour is pretty close to 160 kilometres an hour.
Oh, a lot of RPM on board the bike in the rocket lane. 1.96. Had that right foot hanging out for a fair while. Runs on through at 11.89 to a 12.74. As the Hayabusa makes its way back out. Man, doesn't that sound angry.
Does. Do we have any Harleys here tonight? I don't think we do we?
No, we haven't got any Harleys at all. Well, 1.68 in the 60 this time out of Boozer. Last time he did that, he went 9.86. And a 982 at 144.
Yeah. Nice. That was dead straight, that run too.
That was a really good pass.
Rider in the Aeroflow lane. We'll get there first. 14.78 with a 6.89 mile an hour through the finish line. To a 20-second pass there for the rider in the rocket lane.
Yeah, I think he might have just stalled that just off the start line, unfortunately. Hey, the Carnival Worldwide. G'day, mate. How you going? Haven't seen you for a little while.
Oh, that's the rev limiter across the finish line. I don't know which bike because they were close side by side, but yeah. All I can say is lucky there's a rev limiter.
Yeah, I reckon. Joe Sabello coming back out in the Commodore. Just running this motor in, as he said in the interview.
There we go. On time, I think that's the first pro tree.
I think so. And 11.56 there for Joe Sabello in the Commodore.
All right, so same deal as before. There's the reaction time does not add or subtract from your elapsed time at the other end of the racetrack. All it is a method of testing your reaction time against the light. So if you have a quicker car, you've probably got a good chance of cutting a good light. But for most of our racers here tonight in their daily driven vehicle, unless you guess the light, you're probably not going to get a very good reaction time. We didn't get the required number of cars tonight for the jackpot,
yep.
But at least we give our racers here tonight the opportunity to see how they go against the Pro Tree.
That's right. All right, the Honda Civic Type R is about to take on the first timer in the Falcon. Yes, don't forget, guys, tomorrow night here at Sydney Dragway, we've got Aeroflow Tyre Thrashing Thursday, which is on. It's our dedicated burnout night. We should have a great bunch of burnout competitors out here tomorrow night to strut their stuff on the burnout pad.
Yeah, I know you're a bit of a fiend for the big smoky burnout, Stu.
Yeah, I do love my burnouts. Of course, I like getting up into Burnout Central as well and hanging out with all the crazies. Well, tell you what, the Honda Civic, 2.31 in the 60. The Falcon, a 2.315 in the 60. I think the Honda might
Well,
just
I think
have
he's got
this.
it. Yes, he does. 14.28 with a 2.101 to a 14.92. Had it by a fair way, Stu, when you look at the ET. It was 0.7 of a second. It looked a lot closer than that from up here. But keeping in mind, we are looking at the vehicles from behind. So we don't get that side-on perspective.
All right, the Hilux up against the Integra. Just waiting for the Honda to bump forward into stage. Now, I did mention earlier that some people find it a little bit easier. Some people find it a little bit more difficult. Just talking from my experience, I actually find the Pro Tree a little bit easier than the Sportsman Tree to get the car off the line.
How so, my friend?
Oh, because I drive manual. It's just easier just to
you can just
drive.
Step off the side and...
That's it. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I just find it a little bit easier.
Cross the fingers as you shift gear.
Yeah. I just find, I don't know, I've always found it a little bit easier getting it off the line on a Pro Tree than a Sportsman Tree, whereas some other people find it a little bit more difficult, particularly people with turbo cars. They like to sit there and spool it up a little bit. As Steve mentioned, the time doesn't start until you break the beam. I know you're not crazy panel van man, I didn't say you were. And, oh, thank you, Gus, man. Apparently I'm a burnout connoisseur. I don't know about a burnout connoisseur, but I do love my burnouts.
Is that because you consume lots of rubber through your lungs? Is that how you become a connoisseur of burnouts?
I don't know. I don't know. Maybe, mate, you'd have to ask Mick Brusher that question. Because Brashnats, which is coming up later on in the year as well, keep your eyes out on Facebook for that one, because some of the best burnout cars in the country make their way here to Sydney Dragway. Now it looks like we've got a bit of a problem. Oh no.
I did that last pass up on the two-step for the launch, and then got it fired a little quicker this time around though. Of course, in the Aeroflow lane, still 108 mile an hour through the finish line. And a 1385 with a 4 in the rocket lane.
All right, the Kia electric vehicle out there now, the electric SUV, is going to be taking on the Merc. Well, the Merc got the jump, but that 60 foot makes the difference for these electric cars. And it looks like he's driven around him down the deep end and goes 11.98 with an 8. Great pass there from the Hyundai.
Drove around him big time. It's 0.6 of a second difference in the ETs there. There was 0.4 across the finish line, but the electric car was a little bit slower on the reaction time. So I say that because it means that the electric car had to make that distance up, then drive around, and the margin across the finish line was just over 0.4 of a second.
All right, the Audi wagon is back out front of the pass. This thing is so aggressive off the start line. It had a little bit of a move to the right and the left in the first 60 foot of the racetrack, which I thought might have hampered him a little bit. But it didn't. He went some pretty quick times. He's taking on the Caprice, or the Statesman, down there.
.174 to the 60 for the Audi. Will he get into the 10-second zone? Yes.
Oh, he does.
It's been skimming around the top of that all night. 10.89 with a 3, 127 to a 15.65, I think it was.
All right, a little Alfa Romeo about to take on the AMG Mercedes.
Doesn't look like there's much room in these little Alphas, Stu.
No, there's not actually. I mean, I thought
they're
Mazda,
mid-engine, yeah?
Yeah, I think they are. Yeah, Like, I thought a Mazda MX-5, Steve, was small, but then when you look in the cabin of that, it looks super tight. I mean, for someone about my height, it would probably be all right, but if you're that gentleman's a lot taller than me, so I don't know how he fits in it. But he loves driving it, but on that pass, Steve, it just didn't look like it wanted to play the game.
No, it doesn't appear so. No. 12:41 for the Mercedes in the Aeroflow lane there.
All right, Black Track Performance with Hot RX-7 is about to come out. He's taking on the Ford Focus. Just a little bit of liquid that has come out of that Mercedes on the hit. Just giving the start line a bit of a mop. Now, Hot RX-7, it's got the Simmons on it, and I can tell you, Steve, those Simmons that are on the rear end of it, they're wide, and there's a lot of dish in those wheels as well. But there's not a lot of profile in those tyres.
No, you never have enough rubber on the back tyres.
Thanks, Panel Van Man. I'm a little bit taller than 4'3", but thank you very much. Thank you.
Stuart's a little bit taller than 4'3" too.
If you want my exact height, it's 163, 164. But thank you for your input there, Panel Van Man. Of course,
just keep a lower centre of gravity, don't you, mate?
That's exactly right. I keep telling everybody, stick me in a race car and I'll be winning races for them. Just everybody that's up in the crowd too, guys, if you feel free to join the chat on YouTube or Facebook on our live broadcast.
Have you been monitoring our Facebook?
I have.
Any comments
and
there?
Nothing's come out. Nothing's come up.
Oh. What we'll be looking for again? The best JDM car, was it?
Yeah, best JDM and the best Euro.
As voted by our viewers and our patrons at the racetrack. Of course, jump on this track's Facebook page, Sydney Dragway. Is there a link for that?
Apparently we're going to go to the Sydney Dragway commentary and production page. But I've got no messages coming through, so yeah.
I assume that that's been posted on our main page and then...
Yes.
If you were to pick one.
That's actually a really hard question, to be brutally honest. You know, I've been pretty impressed with Jap, as well as I have been with Euro.
Well, it's one of each, isn't it?
Yeah. Look, me personally, I can't pick it. I think everyone's pretty equal across the board.
Well, this is just my humble opinion.
Yep.
RX-3 Coupe and Audi Wagon.
Angry RX-3.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. And which one?
The Audi Wagon.
The Audi Wagon. Yep.
Do you like the Jeep, but it doesn't fit into JDM?
No, it doesn't. No. All right, Brian out there now, ripping out a big burnout in his Commodore. Kane's asking, are there burnouts tonight? No, there's not, Kane, but tomorrow night we've got Aeroflow Tyre Thrashing Thursday.
Got a whole night of burnouts tomorrow night.
A whole night of burnouts, mate. It's going to be awesome. So hopefully you can make your way out here for it. Now this BMW down here left the line hard, but that looks like all she's wrote. Paddle Van Man, I assume that then that you are over 5'9". Well, I'm 5'4". All right. Just for the record. Ben reckons he's going to paint me blue and make me look like a Smurf. Thanks, mate. Thank you. No, but it's
tough being perfect, eh, Stu?
Well, it's tough being, a commentator and 5 foot something tall. But when I work with Galvo, we're both.
Is that because there was someone shorter you could pass?
No, Galvo and I were roughly about the same height. You know? Well, that BMW, don't know where it's dropped a little bit of liquid out of it when he came off the start line, but it didn't look too happy as he left it.
Well,
so hopefully it's nothing too bad for him.
That's the one with the LS2 on board. I don't know what else Dylan's done to the drive chain. I spoke to him very briefly this evening as I went up to the scrutineering shed to sign in. The car was sitting there idling. I said, that doesn't sound like a BMW engine. And he said, that's not.
Nice. Sub to Big Boy Blakey. Yes, the burnouts will be live streamed tomorrow night. They certainly will be. Be live streamed from 6 o'clock. 6 o'clock Sydney time. All right, the big track walk. Unfortunately, doesn't look like he's going to get a time on this pass. But it certainly looked a lot more aggressive off the start line and gave it a bit more beans. A 12.56 for the car down there in the Aeroflow lane.
The GDS out once again in the rocket lane, taking on the Golf, I think it is, in the Aeroflow lane.
Well, Joe running consistent 1178s with no supercharger. Still a really good bracket car. Oh no, sorry, that's not Joe. I thought that was Joe. It was not. That's Joe coming out now up against the VE Commodore. My apologies, everyone. Oh, thank you, Panel Van Man. That was actually to a lady that was videoing on her mobile, not the actual track cameras, but thank you very much. Yeah, I don't want to scar Ben, so I wouldn't do that to Ben. Well, you don't know. There might be some ladies watching the live stream that get interested. I don't know.
What, does he need to put this camera on up here?
I reckon you should do that one night. Put the camera on in here, and people watching the live stream can actually see us talking as well as,
Well, that is kind of why it's up here.
Well, yeah. Not that we use it very often.
Just make sure I'm permanently behind you.
You're fine. Everyone knows what you look like anyway. You've been commentating longer than I have. All right, the Nissan in the Aeroflow lane, running on through for a 14.20 at 99 miles an hour. We're back into the bikes.
Pretty even off the start line between these two. Looks like the Aeroflow lane will definitely get there first though. 10.47 with a 143 mile an hour through the finish line to an 11.21 with a 5 at 129 for the rocket lane.
Yes, Panel Van Man, you know me too well. Well, once again, ladies and gentlemen, we must thank Sydney Random Riders for organising a cruise out here to Aeroflow Race for Real and getting a few of their riders on track, getting a bit of experience to see what this off-street drag racing caper is all about. I hope they've enjoyed themselves. Still a little bit more racing to go. But good chance for them to get some experience on the Pro Tree.
Unfortunately, no time will be recorded for our Aeroflow racer. But the Rocket Lane at 12.85 with a 0.103 mile an hour through the finish line.
Now, I did notice today when I was having a look at our Sydney Dragway website for tomorrow night's Aeroflow Tyre Thrashing Thursday.
Yes.
I do believe that Lola has entered as well. Jacko's Lux has entered as well, as far as I'm aware. And we've also, yes, yep. And Little Pig has entered as well, so we've got a couple of pro cars, or few pro cars that have entered for tomorrow night. So once again, guys, if you can't make it here to the track, make sure you tune in from 6 p.m. wherever you are around the world. And you can check out some of New South Wales' best burnout competitors and our up-and-coming burnout competitors as well that race in the street class. Well, 1.79, the 60 there for the bike. In the Aeroflow lane, just a good pass, 10.13 to a 10.60. Not too much between them in the miles per hour stakes either. Anything over 140 is crazy on a bike.
That one there was pretty close across the finish line, only 0.04 of a second between the two bikes. The Aeroflow lane was out in, the Rocket lane was out in front till about half track, but the Aeroflow lane marched on from there. 10.89 with a 9, 144.
Yeah, Gus, man, the day we had the Jet Funny Cars here at the track, I was actually standing just on the return road area, could feel the afterburner blast, and when I came upstairs, I found out that Chad was cowering underneath the table because the cracks in the window at the time were getting larger. We thought the window was going to break.
Well, that was going back many, many years ago now.
Yeah.
Here at Sydney Dragway, we have the jet cars a couple of times, I think, but
Yeah.
definitely a spectacle.
Yeah, those cars are actually still up for sale as well, as far as I'm aware.
Are they really?
Yeah. Darren DeFilippo's selling them.
There was two of them, wasn't there?
Mm-hmm.
Are you thinking what I'm thinking?
Yes, I am. You and me.
Yep.
Absolutely.
I don't know the first thing about running a jet car.
Well, neither do I, except put your foot down and hope for the best. But
I've been told they're very, very scary to drive, actually, because when you turn them on, how do I say it? It was said by someone who was racing one at an air show that unfortunately crashed at the air show. Surprise, surprise. It tends to always be the way where drag racing vehicles have fairly substantial accidents when they're doing demonstration passes. This particular driver got out of the throttle, pulled the throttle back, shut the engine down, but of course everything's still spinning, so it's still creating thrust in whatever direction. So you could be upside down, and it's
still going,
driving you forward.
Absolutely,
it's not an instant stop, unfortunately.
No, they're a little bit different to a fuel car. Obviously, the fuel car being wheel driven, the jet car is all thrust driven.
Although we do see on the Santa Pod live streams that they have quite a few jet cars that race over there. They've got a couple of funny cars. There's a couple of dragsters as well.
Yep.
There's even a VW Combi. Have you seen that one?
No, I haven't seen that one.
Oh, you should check it out.
I will. I'll
what's
have
it
to look that up.
Oklahoma Willie, is it, Ben? Yeah, it's a really nice split window combi ute.
Nice.
And it's actually street registered, but on the back of it, where you imagine where the tonneau cover would be, the owner's built a frame that the engine sits on, so it runs like 10.5s or something.
Oh, this one?
That's the one.
Oh, nice.
It runs 10.5s, I think, from memory to what I saw.
Wow.
Gets to the end, he packs the parachute, then starts the combi engine up, which is still under the deck lid at the back, and then drives it back into the pits.
Nice.
But it's actually a really nice car, vehicle. All the fuel lines are all polished. Just really cool. I'm not quite sure what a VW bus feels like on a 10.5. I don't think it'd be too fantastic in the sense of its aerodynamics, but yes, that's true.
The Carnival Worldwide was asking, what's the quickest bike for the night? Well, the quickest bike is the rider of our Hayabusa that's here tonight. He's run 9.86 seconds down the quarter mile. Carnival Worldwide. Yeah, I heard about that, Gus, man. So, Luxivar, well, the gentleman who drives Luxivar, it's a blown Hilux. It does the burnouts. He just recently bought a jet-powered Holden Commodore that was up for sale.
Ah, is it the black one?
I think it's the black one. Yeah.
I did see the post of some form on Facebook about that.
Yeah. We've got what looks like the Hyundai back out in the rocket lane, taking on the Mercedes.
And the Mercedes will take it 13.09 with a 109 mile an hour through the finish line. Next up, we'll see the Focus taking on the RX-7. Focus has done plenty of passes here tonight, yes, Stu?
Now, it's an RC car, just said his favourite drags are the Outlaw Anglia.
Yes.
Yeah.
I agree.
Well, I'll tell you what, it's an
agree.
RC car. Steve loves that car as well.
That's a whole entire class of Anglias, mate. For those of us who like Anglias, in all sorts of different combinations. Yes, of course, they nicknamed them something else over in the UK. In fact, if only mine had a Hemi in it. Yes, correct, Ben. Audi in the rocket lane away nicely, 182 to the 60. The BMW, although much further behind on the racetrack, not too much further behind on the 60-foot. The Audi will get there first, 11.80 with a 116 mile an hour in the rocket lane to a 12.57 at 111 for the BMW. right, Sammy Joe taking on our friend in the track hawk now. Just doing a little bit of mopping in the rocket lane. A 3.60 reaction time for Sammy. The track hawk a little bit further behind, but the horsepower is going to come around the Commodore, I think, at the top end. Already in front of the 1,000, rolls out of the throttle, 11.003, 127 to a 12.49 at 115 for the red Commodore. Not too much in the reaction times between these two. The Aeroflow lane just out in front. I think the performance as well in front of the 1,000. And runs on through for 14.12. 101 mile an hour.
Well, I think this is the latest I've seen Joe run for a little while, Steve. So it's good to see him staying towards the end. Getting some runs on this engine while it's naturally aspirated.
Two bikes locked together nearly at 1,000 foot, and the winner will be the Aeroflow lane by 0.05 of a second. 12.78 across the finish line.
All right, our quickest bike that is here tonight, the Hayabusa, coming out in the Aeroflow lane. A little bit slower to 60 this time from the Boozer. I think the bike might have just got away from him on the start line and goes 10.12 to a 10.50.
And a 13.38 with a 9, 96 mile an hour for the rocket lane to a 14.73 in the Aeroflow lane.
Yeah, I don't know that Boozer will break 8.5 Carnival worldwide. It is only street registered.
Ooh, a big wiggle for the rider in the Aeroflow lane on the leave. And one of those bikes just touching the limiter there at the shift. 11.57 at 1:15 for the rider in the rocket lane will take it.
I got one of our female racers out here on her bike, taking on the P-plater on his bike. Of course, one thing Steve and I should have touched on many a time, but maybe not so much tonight, is that as both bikes run the PB for the night, you know, it's not just, doesn't matter how fast you are, you know, it's about being consistent when it comes sometimes for drag racing. Of course, everyone wants to go faster, but there's also that consistency side of it. And I think for a lot of these racers that haven't raced here before, and they've only had maybe 2 or 3 passes, it's about just trying to get that consistency. Run the same time, do the same thing every time. You know, it's a bit like driving a pro stock car. You want to do everything the same way. Everything's just a routine.
I think if you're doing everything the same way, if you do make a change to the vehicle,
yeah,
car, bike, whatever it might be, jet car,
yeah,
you know whether you're going in the right direction.
That's right.
Whereas if you don't have a procedure down pat and you do something different every time that you come to the start line, how do you know if you're getting better or not?
That's exactly right. There's 2 ladies racing tonight, Carnival Worldwide. We've got one of the ladies that's on the bike, and we've also got Sammy Jo, who's been racing her Commodore all night as well. Oh, we got the Black Track Performance. Hot RX-7 down here, just cackling away. He's going to be taking on this Ford Focus. We've been doing some great passes all night. Don't see a lot of these Focuses in the green colour either. So
no, I don't really see many of that model at all on the roads, really.
No, to be honest, Steve, it's the first time in that model I've ever seen a green one. So. Well, 13.20 there for the Black Track Performance. Hot RX-7 to a 15.28 as the B2R Motorsports nitrous assisted Civic comes out now, all-wheel drive. Has run into the high 8s before here at Aeroflow Race for Real.
Oh, big step over to the left-hand side of the racetrack there. You can see a very prominent set of tyre marks on the right-hand side. Our starter and the IHRA official straight over to the spot to check it out.
Well, Gus, man, green, there is that, how can I say it? Green was considered an unlucky colour in drag racing. It was a bit of a superstitious colour among drag racers. But I think in this day and age, I think that's kind of changed a little bit.
Mind you, green does look very good on race cars.
Oh, it does. It certainly does. There's been a number of very nice looking green sport compact vehicles over the years too.
I'm thinking a series of family-owned front engine dragsters.
Yes, yep, I know the ones you're talking
There's
about.
about 4 of them, and they all look very good.
They do.
In various designs of two-tone green.
Absolutely. Actually, we miss seeing those cars out here at the track.
Actually, Brooke Rapazada's driving one of them now.
Oh, right.
So she was out 2 weeks ago, the first round of the Speed Addict Clothing Co. Championship. Of course, if you've come along tonight and had a crack at the Aeroflow Race for Real on a bike or a car, and you want to give the full experience of racing a crack, jump on the track's website, check out the Speed Addict Clothing Co. Championship Series. And we have a category for both street bike and street fighter, which is for cars. You can come out, do some qualifying runs, pick a dial in. You then race handicapped to what your dial in is. So if Stu and I are racing and my car runs 12s and he runs 10s, I leave 2 seconds before he does, and in theory, we're side by side at the finish line. But of course, you then throw in consistency of the car and the weather, or track conditions, or reaction time is a big one.
That's right.
If I cut a better light than Stu, he has to work a little bit harder to get around me. And a fantastic way to take one step up from the entry level of drag racing, which of course is tonight.
Yep, that's exactly right. And look, this is the best way to get your foot in the door, get a bit of experience, and you know, number one, see if you like it.
Yep.
But two, you know, you get to meet some great people through the scene as well. Now it looks like we've got a little bit of fluid that has come out of the bottom of the Civic, unfortunately. So we're just doing a quick little mop up. Nothing too bad. This is why we've got this little bit of downtime, guys. Must thank a few of our sponsors as well. Of course, Pepper Money, who have been with us for a number of years now. If you need a loan for your car, or you're thinking about buying a car, you need a loan, definitely give Pepper Money a call, guys. Of course, VP Racing Lubricants, those guys have been around the drag racing scene for a long time. They're also involved with other forms of motorsport as well. But it's great having them on. Of course, Platinum Racing Products, those guys are great when it comes to car building. Of course, we're lucky enough here that we've got Aeroflow Performance as a main sponsor, but we've also got Platinum Racing Products as well, who are about Atlantic Oils. Of course, if you own a mechanic shop and you need oil for your customers or your car, definitely give Atlantic Oils a bit of a shout out as well, and definitely give the products a try. There's some of the great sponsors, and of course Enviro Waste Services as well, who put some bins out the back at our big event. So if you need to drop oil anywhere, rather than put it into a normal bin, we have actual bins available for depositing old oil.
And that gets recycled responsibly from there.
Right. Yep.
Of course, there's Go Logistics as well. They welcomed on board as a racetrack sponsor, but also one of our bracket sponsors at the Speed Addict Clothing Co. Championship Series. And it's actually pretty cool. That business started, I think, 14 years ago with 3 people just who had an idea.
Yep.
And then drove it forward from there. They now service over 7,000 customers, got 23 drivers driving full-time for them. Yep. Offer the same day delivery service for Sydney Metro, Blue Mountains, and
Central Coast.
Central Coast, yes, thank you.
Yep, yep.
Yeah, so if you need something couriered around Sydney or Blue Mountains or the Central Coast, give Go Logistics a call. And of course, don't forget to back those who back the sport you love.
That's right. Because without sponsors, you don't really have racing. So, you know, get behind them. And of course, as we mentioned earlier, guys, Aeroflow Performance, we can't do this without them. And a huge thank you to Morris and the team at Aeroflow Performance for continuing to get behind off-street drag racing here at Sydney Dragway. And don't forget, guys, for all the products, grab yourself a copy of the Aeroflow Performance Parts Catalogue. You can get that from the Scrutineering Shed or jump onto their website, aeroflowperformance.com. And bound to be something in there for your car. Guys, just got the tractor out. So what we might do, guys, we'll throw up to some ads, and we'll be back very, very soon here at Aeroflow Race for Real.
Stay informed, up to date and entertained thanks to the Western Weekender. The Western Weekender is Penrith's leading free and local newspaper, delivering the best content from on-the-ground journalists and providing businesses with direct access to potential customers. News, sport, entertainment, puzzles and so much more. The Western Weekender is the heartbeat of Penrith and it's out every Thursday. Get your free copy at selected locations in the area, home delivered, or check out westernweekender.com.au.
Boosted turbochargers from Aeroflow Performance are designed for the automotive enthusiast who wants optimal performance at a competitive price. We have a range of turbochargers in both ceramic ball bearing and 360-degree journal bearing options to suit your power goals from 200 up to 3,000 horsepower. To help turbocharge your vehicle, Aeroflow Performance also have a large range of turbocharger accessories. From steam pipe turbo manifolds, external wastegates and intake and exhaust solutions, you can have your car boosted in no time. For a full listing, check out aeroflowperformance.com.
Speed Addict Clothing Co. Fast clothes for fast people. Shop now at speedaddictco.com.au.
Out here, you get time to think about life's big questions, like where do all the flies come from? Do trains of thought have a destination? And another thing, how does an engine keep going out here? Well, that was an easy one.
We're back here at Aeroflow Race for Real here at Sydney Dragway. Myself, the Pocket Rocket, up here in commentary with Stephen Bush. And Bushman, it's been a good night of racing, and that Audi, that little red Audi, has been doing a fantastic job all night. What a bracket car.
It has been doing a really, really good job. A lot of handful of passes around that 11-7 second zone all night.
It's just amazing the amount of cars that we've now got here at Aeroflow Race for Real that, you know, have got the potential now to step up to the Speed Addict Clothing Company and do a very good job in Street Fighter as well. Now, one thing we should touch on, we've had a couple of ladies racing tonight, and you know, we'd really like to get some more females involved in Aeroflow Race for Real. So, you know, if you're a lady that's sitting up in the stand or you've been walking around the pitch, you're thinking, you know what, I want to have a go. Hey, have a go.
Just have a go, yep. There's plenty of successful lady races that in all sorts of categories. We've got former Australian champions in Top Fuel, in Kelly Betts.
We've got some fantastic female races as well in modified.
Yes.
I mean,
yep.
Yeah, and some of them are that tough a racer that you've really got to be on your game, because not only are they great drivers, but they're also great ambassadors for our sport as well. And I noticed that Kelsey Lay has got a new name on the side of her altered now.
Gascows?
Yeah, Gascow. Yeah.
It's just, I don't know, I think it's just the name of the car, I'm pretty sure.
Okay.
That's the way I took it, but...
Because I saw some of the shirts that she had, and I thought, you know what, I wouldn't mind getting myself one of those.
Sure.
Why not?
Why not?
So it supports the racer.
That is a pretty car, that one too. The gold and black Ford T-Bucket. High 7 second, low 8 second modified altered.
Panel van, man, you're out of control tonight. Even Benji's laughing. He's almost got tears coming out of his head. Well, 10:45, 11:36. Tell you what, those big ball bikes sound really good down the end of the track, don't they?
Yes, they do.
The big Jap bikes.
Very distinctive engine note, as does our four-wheeled car manufacturers as well. And a 12.62 with a 1 will take it at 107 mile an hour through the finish line.
We've got some of our big bikes that I can hear coming through from under the tunnel. This rider down here in the Aeroflow lane, he's been doing a great job all night. He goes 10.02 with the 3. Big difference for these riders jumping off a Pro Tree. I thought sometimes with the bikes it might be just a little bit easier on the Pro Tree than say if you're driving a car, but for the reaction time side of things.
Yes.
But yeah, they're doing a great job out there. I think it's kind of good experience for them.
Well, definitely. I think all of our competitors here tonight, whether they're in a car or a bike, they've all got plenty of opportunity to do plenty of runs here. Pretty close off the start line for these two, but I think the Aeroflow lane, it will see the win light. And a 14.52, 89 miles an hour through the finish line.
Yeah, I totally agree with you. The Carnival Worldwide 10-second bikes are no joke. Awesome runs. They certainly are. I think, anyone that can go low 10s, high 9s on the bike, particularly on a street bike, that's impressive.
These two locked together at 1,000, Stu. 14.59 with a 4 to a 15.88 with a 1.
Geez, that looked closer than
it did
from up here than what it did on the computer.
Yeah, the 1,000 foot, they were locked together, but there's about 3/10 across the finish line.
Yeah. Well, the Carnival Worldwide, we had about 86 competitors this evening for Aeroflow Race for Real for our JDM versus Euro theme night. Don't forget, guys, tomorrow night, Aeroflow Tyre Thrashing Thursday. We're going to light the sky up, hopefully not with flames out of bonnets, but hopefully just with some smoke.
Has happened before.
Well, yeah, of course. I mean, I don't like to see people catch on fire, but I guess that's part and parcel of being a burnout competitor.
Yeah, rods or rims, baby.
Yeah, well, that's right.
Say.
Well, both cars in the 13-second zone. A 13.19 to a 13.97. Well, the Carnival Worldwide, I mean, 86 isn't bad considering we've had a lot of the wet stuff floating around Sydney. But look, we've had anywhere, the most we've ever had here when I've been working here is about 180 entrants for Aeroflow Race for Real. That was going back a number of years ago now, but safely 100. 100 is a minimum for the reaction time contest. Well, 10:36 to a 10.91. Oh, got the boozer back out in the Aeroflow lane. He went 1.82 in the 60. Probably not going to run a 980 on this pass. But he goes, oh, he did.
Yep.
Made a liar out of me. 989 with a Ford, 147 miles per hour. Don't forget, guys, towards the end of March, we've got the Sydney Jamboree, which is here. Two of the toughest RB30 powered vehicles in the country are going to go head-to-head in some match races. Rob Margin and Zeus, the Croydon Racing Developments. R35 GTR going to be taking on the Don with Anthony Matuk behind the wheel. From Matuk's Racing here in Sydney. The quickest and fastest RBs in the world here in Sydney. So this is our last bike for tonight. Doing a great job, the P-Plater too. 2.13 in the 60, nice and straight down the rocket lane. And goes 11.72 at a 117. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that is it for tonight's Euro-themed JDM versus Euro night. A huge thank you to all our competitors that have turned out tonight. To Stephen Bush, always a pleasure commentating with you, mate. You're an absolute legend, and I look forward to hopefully commentating with you again either next week or the week after.
Sounds great, Stu. Thank you very much for your company on the mic. Thank you to all of our hardworking officials, both up here in the box and out on the grounds, keeping all of our competitors safe. Thank you to all the people that joined us on our live streams through Sydney Dragway Official and our Sydney Dragway Facebook pages. Thank you to all of our patrons that came out to the venue tonight. Yeah. I hope you've enjoyed the racing and listening to Stu and I try to give you some information and be informative, have a bit of a joke around every now and then. We look forward to seeing you here again very, very soon at Sydney Dragway. If burnouts are your thing, tomorrow night, head out to Sydney Dragway from about 6 p.m. tomorrow evening, and you'll see the Pocket Rocket in his natural element down on the pad. And I myself look forward to seeing you all here at Sydney Dragway in the very near future. Have a good night.
All right, everybody, take care. Just to all the racers that are out the back, guys, just a quick service announcement. Just bear in mind, guys, that there are people changing tyres. There are kids around, so please don't do anything stupid in the pits. Please drive safely. When you're leaving the venue, guys, just do take it easy, please. We don't want anybody pulled over by the boys in blue. My name's Stuart White, also known as the Pocket Rocket. Take care, everybody, and we'll see you very, very soon here at the place where excitement lives, Sydney Dragway.